Welcome to our Friday TNT. Just a quick reminder that tonight at 8 p.m. we'll be doing our weekly live program. So we're sort of moving it between the Saturday morning and the Friday night times. But if you'd like to join us for a full hour of chat, it's free. Anybody can join in. It's tonight at 8 p.m. And haven't we got a lot to talk about? Betrayal, a soft coup perhaps. Or maybe it's just the machinations of Thai politics and people wondering whose side is who on at the moment. Now, there's been a few stories emerge in the past 24 hours that's really making a lot of Thais scratch their head and wondering what on earth is going to happen in the next 2 weeks. Well, it certainly looks like some of the ideas that I saw as a scenario 1, 2 or 3 are coming into play. But we're going to check that out a little bit later on in the program. And also, of course, the effect of what happened with the announcement of the return of former Prime Minister, or fugitive Prime Minister, if you like, Thaksin Shinawatra, and the effect that all that's happening and his apparent involvement in what's going to be happening in Parliament in the next few weeks. But we're going to start with some weather to start with today. And this is the current situation with the tropical typhoon Doksuri. And you can see it there right up the top there, just skimming past Taiwan. It's already gone past the Philippines, heading northwesterly. And Doksuri now just about to cross the southeast Chinese coast. Now, where's that in relation to Thailand? Well, there's Doksuri in the white circle, and you can see Thailand there, and the arrow basically showing the southwesterly monsoonal airflow, which is usual for Thailand. A lot of people trying to sort of say that Doksuri is affecting the Thai weather at the moment. Well, this whole southwesterly airflow here in Phuket, it's around about 20 kilometres up to 25 kilometres an hour. That's completely normal for this time of the year. But certainly that southwesterly airflow, as it does during the wet season, dragging a whole of that wet, moist air out of the Indian Ocean and flowing across the lower half of the Southeast Asian continent. So enough about the weather. Let's move on to our first story today. And from the Bangkok Post, they're reporting deal struck on the next government. And in the photo there, a gentleman that was much better known to people in the 2019 election. His name is Thanatorn. I've never been able to pronounce his surname, but Thanatorn says it all. And it says that the ex-Future Forward Party boss meets with Thaksin in Hong Kong. Now, Thanatorn was one of the 2 prime ministerial candidates up for election back in 2019. It was Thanatorn and also the other guy, Prayut Chan-o-cha, who of course emerged victorious after that prime ministerial election. And Thanatorn found himself out on the sidelines after the Constitutional Court banned him over media shares and also a loan, which they said was illegal, according to the Constitution at the time. So this is what's happening. The Bangkok Post reporting that a political deal involving the formation of a new government has been reached in Hong Kong between the ousted should-be Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra and Thanatorn, the leader of the progressive movement, ahead of Thaksin's plan to return to Thailand. And the source said that Mr. Thanatorn flew to Hong Kong on Monday morning and returned to Thailand the following day. And he said they discussed the possibility of the Move Forward Party being excluded from the new government. So basically, this is a nice way of saying that the Move Forward Party are out of these negotiations. This is just a polite political theatre. And the progressive movement emerged after the Future Forward Party, which Mr. Thanatorn founded and served as leader, was disbanded over a loan he extended to the party, which the Constitutional Court deemed to be illegal. And while the dissolved outfit re-emerged as the Move Forward Party, its key figures, who were banned from participating in elections, came together to form the progressive movement, which has been helping the Move Forward Party campaign for the election. So in the same way that the shadow of Thaksin Shinawatra has been helping the Pheu Thai Party from exile, this progressive movement with Thanatorn at the head has been basically in the shadows helping the Move Forward Party. So a lot of these faces and these names we see leading these parties are not necessarily pulling the strings. And the revelation came after the Move Forward Party Secretary-General Chai Tawat dismissed a report on Wednesday which claimed the party's key figures were planning to fly to Hong Kong to meet Thaksin to discuss the preconditions for joining a new government. When asked if the Move Forward Party had any plans to meet Thaksin for talks, Mr Chai Tawat insisted that any decision on the formation of a new government must be reached by the 8 allies in the coalition. Well, Mr Chai Tawat, as much as you would like otherwise, that whole 8-party coalition and the Memorandum of Understanding, you may as well rip that up because shadowy figures have decided otherwise. And meanwhile, the massage parlour tycoon turned whistleblower, that's as he's always described, Chewit Kemon held a press conference yesterday in which he claimed the Pheu had struck a deal with Phumjai Thai and the Palang Pracharat parties to form a government with a combined 279 MPs. So Chewit's been pretty much on the money since he started this whistleblower campaign in the middle of last year. I reckon he'd know those numbers down to the single decimal point. Now he's talking there of Pheu Thai, the Thaksin-backed party, getting together with Phumjai Thai and Palang Pracharat. Now in the past they've been in firm opposition to each other, but now they've got a new foe, which is this Move Forward party. But what's Thanatorn doing? Negotiating, basically helping the Pheu Thai party negotiate with former foes. There's a lot of water going under the bridge that we just don't understand at the moment. And with the formation of a new coalition, the Move Forward Party, the United Thai Nation Party, and the Democrat Party would form the opposition. And a PM candidate nominated by the new coalition bloc would get the support from the senators because the Move Forward Party would no longer be a part of the coalition. And Chewit said that Pheu Thai would nominate Chaikasem Niti Siri, but he won't get enough support. Phumjai Thai would then take charge of forming a new government. Now, the idea being that if Pheu Thai is seen to be putting together this new government, then it's going to be seen as a sort of a betrayal by their voters, and the Move Forward Party would be particularly pissed off, seeing that they had put together this 8-party coalition. But if Phumjai Thai do the dirty work, then, well, Pheu Thai can say, well, sort of out of our hands. And then another source said that the leader of the Palang Pracharat party, they've basically been running the coalition for the past 4 years, has thrown his support behind Thaksin Shinawatra, Thaksin's daughter and Pheu Thai candidate. So today is the start of a 6-day long weekend. Today is His Majesty's birthday, and we've got 6 days until next Wednesday, which is the end of the Buddhist Lent. And the phones are going to be running hot as all this that's been very well described in the Bangkok Post story, I suppose, gets cemented, and they'll front up to Parliament next week with all this worked out, and everything will probably, maybe, possibly fall into place. So plenty to happen over the next week, and it looks like there has been some sort of soft coup against the Move Forward Party and their 8-party coalition. You're watching TNT. So today is His Majesty's birthday. There'll be plenty of businesses closed, but pretty much shopping centres and all the tourist areas will be open. And Nation Thailand says the Grand Palace is closed to visitors for 2 days for the King's birthday. And on the occasion of His Majesty the King's birthday, the Bureau of the Royal Household has announced that the Grand Palace will be closed to visitors on July the 28th and 29th, and the Temple of the Emerald Buddha will be closed on the afternoon of the 28th. And so tomorrow, the Grand Palace will be closed to visitors for the entire day, but the Temple of the Emerald Buddha will be open to visitors from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Its Ubosot, which is basically the chapel, will however be closed to visitors, and visitors are required to dress modestly. Gentlemen are prohibited from wearing jeans, and ladies must wear either a skirt or a sarong. Gentlemen, if you want to go anywhere in Thailand, I think jeans are probably the most impractical thing to wear, just because they're just hot with that really thick cotton. Having said that, it's what you see the Burmese and the Thai workers wearing when they're off to work all day, those tight, skinny jeans. A follow-up to a story we did yesterday, and Nation Thailand saying that 3 arrested, 32 kilograms of heroin destined for Australia seized. Yesterday we reported from thepatianews.com about a relationship or a memorandum of understanding between the Thai police and the Australian Federal Police about transnational drug trade. The story says that police found the drug in 831 small plastic bags hidden in wooden crates. The suspects were arrested at a warehouse in Nakhon Pathom province on Wednesday, where the drug was found in hidden chambers built into pieces of wood that were assembled into crates for holding jade and stone sculptures of the Buddha. And police received a tip-off from an informant that a drug gang was planning to smuggle heroin to a buyer in Australia by disguising the shipment as sculptures. And wow, did they go to some trouble. You can see there in the packing, the pieces of wood were inlaid with capsules of the drug, and they were all in amongst all these jade sculptures. So they certainly spent plenty of money trying to send these drugs to Australia. And the three suspects were identified as Benz, Odd and Jaua, and Montree added that the drug could have fetched some 100 million baht had it reached its destination in Australia. So that's some 32 kilograms of heroin that won't be making its way to Australia. Now I should thank our sponsor, 5 Star Marine, just taking a quick break and asking you, if you do come to Phuket and you're thinking of taking a tour out to Phang Nga Bay, any of the islands, then 5 Star Marine have got a really good fleet of boats and an excellent staff for private VIP charter tours out to the islands. There's a link in the description of this video if you'd like to contact 5 Star Marine. It's the Friday TNT program, and just reminding you that tonight at 8 PM Thai time, we're going to be doing our weekly live program, just a bit of a change from the normal Saturday morning Thai time program. So if you've got some comments or some ideas or topics you'd like to discuss, or even a few questions, I put a post on the community page, and you can add your questions there that I can sort of try and cobble together a intelligent answer before we turn the camera on. But that's 8 PM tonight, just you and me and a cup of one of these, or something stronger if you like. We'll go for about an hour. You're all invited. There's no cost involved, and we look forward to speaking to you 8 PM Thai time Friday night. Next story today from ThaiPBSWorld.com. Household debt rose to an average of 559,000 baht this year. And household debt in Thailand climbed to an average of nearly 560,000 baht per household. That's an increase of 11% compared to last year, due to slow economic recovery, the COVID-19 pandemic, political conflict and geopolitical issues. Basically everything. And the Bank of Thailand's implementing measures to tackle the debt problem, adding that there is an urgent need for financial education and plans to manage expenditure in the long term. And then it says the setback in forming a government, however, has been identified as an obstacle to economic policy implementation, leading both domestic and foreign investors to postpone their investments. And then the fourth paragraph there, if the government formation is postponed until after this August, budget allocations might be halted until the third quarter of 2024, which could have immense impact on the economy this year and potentially affect economic stimulation at the beginning of next year. So the private sector pretty much up in arms at the moment, calling for some urgent formation of a Thai government so that the whole process of the Thai economy can continue. Now, it's going to be some 4 months after the election before some government's going to be formed. Then they have to sit around and argue about who's going to be running the ministries before they can sit down and formulate a budget. And it's going to depend on which parties are holding the levers of power as to what budget allocations or how much money is going to be spent in each area of the economy. But that story from ThaiPBSWorld.com. Moving to our next story as we sort of do a quick roundup of politics around Thailand. And VOA News reporting the Thai Parliament to meet again in August to choose the PM. And Thailand's Parliament said yesterday that it's scheduled to meet again on August the 4th to try and pick a Prime Minister as a political stalemate drags on following a national election in May. So August the 4th is next Thursday. The Pheu Thai party, which placed second in May and is part of an 8-party alliance with Move Forward, is expected to make the next bid for the office. Well, that's pretty much cast in stone now. From the earlier story, it looks like deals have been done, hands have been shaken, numbers have been counted. And the fourth paragraph, voters in Southeast Asia's second largest economy propelled Move Forward to a surprise election victory over the military-backed rivals who have dominated its politics for most of the last decade. And then who would have thought that those military-backed rivals would now be getting together with Pheu Thai, of all parties, to hold out the Move Forward party from getting into Parliament. And the story goes on. A parliamentary document outlining its agenda for August the 4th said the House would consider and endorse a suitable individual to become Prime Minister. However, the vote could be delayed because of a pending court review of a previous decision. This according to the House Speaker, who told reporters in Parliament before the agenda was released. And that refers to the Constitutional Court having to consider a number of matters, one of them being whether Pita Limjaroenrat could be renominated as a prime ministerial candidate. But if he does, he will fail because other deals have already been done. Now, the return of Thaksin Shinawatra was the big news yesterday, headlining pretty much around the world. If you typed in the words Thai news into your Google machine, Nation Thailand reports that Thaksin can seek a royal pardon within 24 hours of starting jail time. Well, Wisanu, of course, is the caretaker Deputy Prime Minister at the moment. He also served as a minister under Thaksin when he was Prime Minister back in 2000. Now, this is all part of the political theatre and just feeding the media what they want to hear at the moment, saying that Thaksin, if he does arrive on August the 10th, will be taken into custody and what will happen with him. But as we said yesterday, and a lot of the commenters yesterday also agreeing, that very unlikely Thaksin would be returning to Thailand if he's going to be standing on the other side of the bars in a jail. The Nation Thailand report says that the former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra can apply for a royal pardon soon after he starts serving his jail term on his return to Thailand. And Wisanu said this can be done within the first 24 hours, but I don't know if he will do it. I can't answer this for him. But they'll have to wait for 2 years to submit a new appeal if they're not granted a pardon in their first attempt. Wisanu, who's in charge of the government's legal matters, explained that it's the right of every convict to seek a royal pardon. But as I said, I think a lot of this is just political theatre. All these arrangements would have been made before Thaksin even starts packing his underwear into his suitcase. And now to our last story, entitled Rich Russians Isolated from the West Are Flocking to Thailand's Phuket, and it's published in w6nnews.com. Now, the story originally published in bloomberg.com, but it was behind a paywall, so I had to find a free published version of it, which is in some Middle Eastern publication. It's in English, but it's all been ranged to the right, which is sort of a bit hard to read. And the story says, according to the vice president at Russia's Sotheby International Realty, a typical Russian buyer in Thailand might be an entrepreneur in their mid-30s from the eastern part of the Federation, such as Vladivostok, but increasingly investors from Moscow and St. Petersburg are seeing the Thai market as more and more attractive. And sanctions have weighed on transactions, with Visa and MasterCard among the many global financial firms that suspended operations in Russia after the invasion of Ukraine. But people are finding workarounds, such as linking to platforms of China UnionPay, digital assets, as well as paying with cash denominated in dollars and euros. Even the ruble has also weakened against the Thai baht. But Thais are apparently adapting to the needs and habits of Russian visitors. Phuket International Airport makes announcements in Russian. Can't say that I've heard that even in recent weeks when I've been at the airport, but that's what the story says. And then the story claims that many shop names and street signs are in Cyrillic. Haven't seen much of that, maybe a very few signs, but perhaps only in Patong. And street vendors sell borscht and blinis side by side with local classics, such as pad thai and spicy tom yum soup. I'm thinking a lot of this story has sort of come from rumours and anecdotes rather than hard evidence. Yes, there are plenty of Russians in Phuket, but it's not as if they're taking over. I mean, there's still a tiny proportion of the total population of the island of Phuket. And, as we've shown by the arrivals, their numbers have dropped by some 80 to 90% over the past 6 months. And the story says that while commerce has boosted the economy and provided much-needed jobs in tourism and investment-dependent Phuket and Krabi, the influx of Russians has also pushed some potential buyers from Thailand and other nations out of the market. Local workers are also feeling the sting of inflation on basic goods and their own rents. Well, all I can say after living in Phuket for the past 12 or 13 years is I've seen different influxes and surges of one nationality or another, and at the moment it's Russian people, although it's certainly on the decline at the moment. But all the international schools are full at the moment. Yes, a lot of the rents have been pushed up, but that really happened during the high season, and now the rents are starting to come down as many of the Russian people that were here back in January and February are leaving, and there's not as many Russian people arriving as there were at the start of the year. So anyway, that story certainly covers somewhat of a Russian revolution here in Phuket, but it's just one of many international revolutions that we have from time to time in these tourist areas. Well, I hope you're sort of more up to date with things happening around Thailand. That soft coup looks like it's going to unfold over the next week, and when the joint sitting of Parliament happens next Thursday, if it goes ahead, I think we sort of know now what's going to happen. Hope you enjoy the next 6 days public holiday here in Thailand. And just remember that tonight we've got our live TNT, you and me, and that'll go on from about 8 p.m. tonight. Anything that's on your mind we can discuss, and everybody's welcome. Have a great Friday. We'll see you soon.